Yes, my Between the Liners, we are back, the Between the Lines podcast, and there's no better way to start the season off, the Premier League 24-25 season, with a Manchester United win, 3 points at Old Trafford, a 1-0 win versus Fulham, a Joshua Zirkzee debut goal. Excellent. What more could you want than to gas up Adnan with a new signings goal on his debut? That's how we like to start this season. A finish that I'll be proud of myself. Like many of you have seen in the Legends League, I've scored a goal similar to that numerous times. When a cross comes in, get your body angle right, pass it off into the corner by getting the right contact. You're close to the goal. See if you can get into the corner. A delightful finish from Joshua Zirkzee. An even better celebration. No better way to gas up Adnan to the new season than a debut goal from a new signing. I'm about to gas him up so much this season. That's what you came for. Look, before I get into the game, I will be doing Manchester United predictions for the season and Premier League predictions for the season over the next couple of days. But I thought, let's get the first game out of the way, first game of the season out of the way, and do a quick match reaction for the game. We'll take it into the starting lineup first. I know a lot of us wanted to see Zirkzee in there immediately, probably wanted to see Lit in there. But Maguire didn't do too much wrong, if you're being honest. I know it's easy to clown him, but he was all right, if we're being honest. And we got to see Mazraoui in. I thought we was going to see him at left back, but we ended up seeing him at right back, which I'll get into shortly. And I'm glad that Ahmad gets to start. Looks like Ten Hag has finally realised that Ahmad deserves to be starting on that right wing if it's not Garnacho. And maybe, to be honest, I think Garnacho probably deserved a start on the left, but I can kind of see what Ten Hag's doing. Maybe he's trying to keep Garnacho fresh. Garnacho had a Copa America where he was there for quite a while. And Rashford didn't go to the Euros, so he's obviously a bit more match fit. He's been involved in pre-season and stuff. So it makes sense. But I'm glad Ahmad is finally getting his chance out on the right wing to show what he's capable of. And I will speak about Ahmad. Let's take it into the positives of the game. There's a few positives. I know we created a lot of chances. I just want to see also how many shots on target did we give away to Fulham, if I can just quickly check that. Because obviously last season we gave away a lot of shots on target and a lot of shots. Remember, there's a few games last season where we gave away like 20 plus shots every game. I'm looking at the stats now. Fulham only had 10, I say only, but they had 10 shots and only had 2 shots on target. So already, immediately, just looking at the stats, that's a big improvement. We also had 55% possession to Fulham's 45%, which maybe would expect to do a bit better, but it's early stages in the season. Not everyone is back fully fit in the squad. Not everyone is match fit yet. So don't be too harsh. I felt like Gary Neville was quite pessimistic, especially in the opening stages of the commentary against United, which was kind of weird. It's just like, we've just started the season. You don't need to be so harsh on the players, so harsh on the team. Like, let the team build up a bit. But I felt like he's being overly criticising United players. But back to the positives anyway. So one thing, we didn't give away too many shots like we did last season. Another thing, I've already mentioned Mazraoui. He ended up playing on the right-hand side instead of the left, which was quite interesting because I thought Dalot has solidified himself on that right-hand side. And I guess while Shaw and Malacia or whoever else are out, maybe we're going to see Dalot on the left and Mazraoui on the right. But in terms of Mazraoui, I thought he was very confident on the ball, very assured, isn't afraid to collect the ball in different positions in the midfield or in the middle, in the central areas, out on the right-hand side. Also isn't afraid to play a pass with either his left foot or right foot. Very comfortable at collecting, very comfortable at zipping a pass into his teammate. He doesn't labor with it, passes it quickly, makes a decision quickly, played pretty safe whenever he needed to. I thought a very decent debut and expecting a lot more to come from Mazraoui, especially with his confidence on the ball. And also there's one point early on in the first half where Wan-Bissaka got criticised a lot, where he didn't really track his opponent at the back post. Mazraoui did that at one point when Traore burst past everyone, put it into the box, and Mazraoui was there to slide in and block the shot. So a good debut from Mazraoui, and excited to see what else he can do. Ahmad, look, I've mentioned him already in the starting lineup piece. I think he's very good in terms of possession, ball retention. His decision making is excellent. Anytime he gets on the ball, he knows when he should be running through and attacking his fullback, or he knows when he should go back and pass it back into the midfield or pass it back to his fullback. He's very sensible in those decision making, and I like the way he plays with the ball, the way the ball comes to him and he puts his foot on it, he stamps on it. Like Mainu does something similar as well. They get the ball and to control it, they stamp their ball on top of the ball. They stamp their foot on top of the ball, rather than some players, they control it with a side foot, if that makes sense. Mainu and Ahmad, they've got a bit more to them technically, and they're capable of doing special things with the football. And I'm really excited to see what else Ahmad does. Ahmad also on set pieces was very decent, I thought. Bruno, a bit hit and miss with the set pieces, which I guess is potentially a negative, but we'll get to that. You know what? I want to give praise to Casemiro as well, because I wrote him off a lot last season. Maybe you might have seen in some of the match reactions, some of the Big Six breakdowns. I honestly thought he was finished. You see me, Ryan, and Haroon and Naib. We spoke about Casemiro and the player Keepo Sell at the end of last season, and I think we were all adamant that he had to go. But on the basis of today alone, he's shown that there's still a fighter in there. I thought he looked very sharp. I think there was times where his passing could have been a bit better, but he was making the right decisions. And last season, he made some terrible, terrible decisions in a lot of the games he played in, like 90% of the games he played. But today, I thought a lot of his decision-making was very good. I thought he looked like a leader on the pitch, and I thought he was trying to push his team up the pitch, and he was winning the ball back quite high up for us as well whenever he could. I think a very good performance from Casemiro, to be honest. And also, even in the box, defensively and offensively, he won so many headers. I know my man's going to get a headache tonight. And you know, guys that play, or girls that are playing football, you guys know that when you go out for a header a lot in a game, the next day your head feels bruised here. I swear to God, Casemiro has got a massive bruise there tomorrow. He won so many headers defensively and offensively. A very good performance from Casemiro, and I'm glad that he's proved me wrong more than anything, to be honest, because I was very worried after last season. And I know a lot of us wanted him gone this summer, to be honest, which hurts to disrespect a player of his caliber after the career he's had, to be honest. But yeah, we created a lot of chances, which was good. Obviously, Bruno should have scored at least 2 in the first half. Maybe Mount should have scored 1 in the second half. Garnacho should have scored 1 late on, like pretty much almost an open goal, where Rashford set him through after Bassi's had a horrendous clearance, or tried to clear it, and Rashford set him up unselfishly, and Garnacho's hit it wide on his left foot. But we created chances, and last season we looked really static up front, and this game so far today, and even in the Community Shield, we're creating chances. And whether that's through patterns of play and things that they've done in pre-season, or whether it's just through the sheer number of people that we had narrow and forward with the Mount, the Bruno, the Ahmad, the Rashford, and Mainu, of course, who can be attacking and defensive, kind of box-to-box number 8-ish. We had a lot of players in forward positions, and so therefore chances were created. Whereas last season, we looked really static up front at times, and Højlund was starved of service. So excited to see how Højlund fits into this, and obviously Zirkzee, who I'll come on to shortly. I thought first half, we looked a bit shaky for the first 15 minutes, but after that, I thought we looked pretty comfortable, and we were pressing high. This is another thing that we get criticised for a lot, that we don't press enough, or we don't press high enough. I thought the press in terms of the attacking players, in terms of the forwards, maybe wasn't quite working off, but then I wasn't too disheartened by it, because I thought the midfielders and the defenders were pressing quite high, and we won the ball quite high up near the halfway line, rather than the forwards winning it like Rashford or Ahmad or Bruno or Mount. I thought Casemiro and Mainu and Maguire and Martinez were winning the ball, and Mazraoui and Dalot were winning the ball quite high up compared to last season, at least. And obviously still first game of the season, so you want to see this continue throughout the season and hope we can maintain it. The Zirkzee finish, I think he was pretty quiet when he came on, let's be real. De Ligt didn't really have much to do even when he came on, so nothing to really shout about. Mazraoui, I thought, had a good game, to be honest, for the 80 minutes he was on the pitch. But Zirkzee, Bruno does well to turn his man on the left-hand side, gets it into the middle. I think he passes Zirkzee. Zirkzee shows what he's about, collects it in the middle, makes a sensible decision and passes it out right. Garnacho, oh my God, I need to speak about this guy. The mentality of this, I don't even want to say kid. The mentality of this guy is elite. I'm talking about Garnacho. Look at the Community Shield performance. Look at this performance today. Whenever he gets on the ball, he's an absolute threat. It doesn't matter who he's playing, what team he's playing, what position he is, left or right. I personally think he's still better on the left. I know stats might suggest otherwise, but he's coming for every single player that's in front of him on the opponent's team. It doesn't matter. And he's trying to create things for his team. And he looks stronger now. He looks physically imposing. He looks like he's got more running power in his legs. He's getting better and better. And I'm so excited to see what he does this season. Viva Garnacho running down the wing. Can't wait to see what he does this season. And Garnacho gets a cross in for Zirkzee when I go back to the original point. And Zirkzee with a great finish, as I mentioned at the beginning. Very composed. Knows what body position to put in, and I believe that's his weaker foot. I think he's right-footed. Scores it with his left foot, directs it into the corner of the net. Great finish, great anticipation, great awareness to build himself up from the middle into the net, into the box, which is something we were lacking before. In the first half especially, we didn't really have enough players getting into the box, breaking their neck to get into the box. And that's the problem with playing the Mount and Bruno kind of two false nine-ish players. There's no box presence there, and that's why we need Højlund. But Zirkzee did well, shows how to pass it out from the middle, build up, and then get into the box and pass it, and obviously get the goal in the end. But yeah, that's pretty much all the positives from what I can remember. Unless you guys can think of anything else, let me know in the comments. Make sure you like the video and subscribe as well. Plenty more Man United match reactions to come and Man United vlogs to come. I got cup season ticket again this season. All the Europa League games, all the FA Cup games, all the League Cup games, and a few more Premier League games I'll be going to as well. So watch out for those. Make sure you get in the comments. Make sure you get in the likes. Let's take it into the negatives. Look, I've praised, I think I forgot to praise it. I think Mount did well in the first half in terms of pressing. He's got a lot of energy. I like that about him. But in this formation, which kind of feels like we've set for him to be in the team, to accommodate him in the team, which is kind of strange. What does he provide in possession? He didn't really do nothing in possession, to be honest, which is a bit disappointing because he's clearly a talented player. We've seen what he can do in the past. We've seen he's a very good technical player. But in possession, on the ball, I didn't see him do anything unless I'm mistaken. So I think that's something that we need to work on. And he's probably only going to be good in this team in possession, in the 10 position, which Bruno plays, or maybe on the right or maybe on the left. I just can't see this false 9 position working in terms of getting the best out of Mount in possession. Saying that, when he came off in the second half and when Ahmad came off, I think it's more to do with Mount though, and we kind of changed formations a bit. We actually looked a lot more open and Fulham started breaking through us on the counter a lot more. So is that directly linked to Mason Mount? Maybe partially some of it is linked to Mason Mount, or maybe even linked slightly less to Ahmad as well, who does put in a shift, but maybe something we need to watch out for. Maybe the balance of the team starts getting more open. Like last season when there were big gaps in the midfield. I didn't see that today for most of the game. But when Mount went off, there were big gaps in the midfield. So something we have to be wary of, to be honest. But yeah, he was pretty much anonymous in possession outside of that, to be honest. I think another problem that we're going to have is the left-back situation. I know Dalot played there. I don't think he did anything really wrong, to be honest. I thought he handled Traore for most of the game and he pressed well. But every time he gets forward, not through any fault of his own, but he can't cross it on his left foot, so he comes back, crosses it on his right. But by that point, the momentum's lost in the attack. The defenders can set themselves. The fullback can try protect his defenders by blocking Dalot's cross. It's still a concern. We need a left-footed player at that left-back position, and I don't know why we haven't sorted that out yet. Why didn't we go get someone else to replace or compete with Luke Shaw, who's always injured? Malacia, we obviously don't know where he is or what's happened with him and what his injury situation is, but it's a concern and something that holds back our play in the attack especially, and obviously probably doesn't really help Marcus because he doesn't have a naturally left-footed player there to overlap with him on the left-hand side. Speaking about Marcus, actually, I didn't really mention him. I wouldn't say he was good. I wouldn't say he was bad either. Obviously, he did well to set up Garnacho in the end. But still needs more. He's obviously a huge confidence player. He needs a run of like 3 goals in 3 games just to get his confidence back up. Like even some of his dribbling today wasn't amazing, but wasn't the worst either. And I saw a bit more desire today than maybe we've seen last season. I thought Community Shield he played well as well, by the way. So still signs of life, but we still need more from Marcus. Another negative, maybe that the number of chances we wasted. Obviously, Bruno missed a few good chances where he should have scored, and we should have been out of the game in that first half. But because you keep it 0-0, you give teams like Fulham, who are decent, a very good, respectable, very well coached team, by the way. So a 1-0 win it's not something to be frowned upon. It's still a good win against a good side. But we need to take our chances and be more clinical early on, so teams don't get confidence against us. Because say, for example, in that second half when Mount came off and Fulham had some very good chances to counter on us, if they scored, we would have been in very big trouble late on in the game. So we've got to finish our chances. And Bruno should have scored. Mount maybe should have scored. Garnacho definitely should have scored. Another final negative is something that I've seen over the last few seasons, and go check out the social media platforms as well, where I tweeted a lot about the game as well. And I said, why are we not proactive enough over the last few seasons? Why is it when we get throw-ins, we always go back? I actually noticed Mazraoui was looking to pass forward, to be honest, from throw-ins. But Dalot, for example, gets a throw, always goes backwards. Why aren't we trying to catch the opposition out and try to go forward one time? See if we can catch them out and create an attack. It doesn't always have to go backwards and be safe. We're Man United at home. Let's create something. Let's catch the opposition out. Why is it other teams that are so proactive against us and they punish us on throw-ins and set pieces and stuff? Another thing is also I want to see improvement in the set pieces. I think Ahmad did well to try and improve that, but Bruno is still a bit hit and miss. Anyway, match roundup. Good start. I wouldn't say it was amazing. I wouldn't say it was bad either, but signs of progress. I saw good build-up play, more so in pre-season and the Community Shield, less so today. But there was a few decent build-up, one-touch passing that we did today that links and shows that there's been an improvement in the team in terms of their attacking play that we didn't really see last season. There's a lot of one-touch build-up play now near the box, whether that's because of the narrow midfielders and the number of midfielders, attacking midfielders that we've got in there now, or whether that's something that the coaches have worked on regardless of the personnel in the team. But signs of improvement. And can't really take much away from this game because obviously it's still the first game of the season and we're still waiting for a lot of the players to come back in to the side with match fitness such as Zirkzee or Delit to finally see how the rest of the team actually shapes up. Quick shout out for Mainu as well. I thought he was good in the first half. Shows his class when he turns on the ball, when he protects the ball, when he controls the ball and finds a pass forward. Always looks to go forward, and I love that guy. I love that about him. He sets expectations and standards so high that it's kind of like you expect some magic from him all the time. And you have to remember, he's still young and still learning his position himself. So can't really expect too much from him, but I still love him so much. Looking ahead, quick man in the match, actually. I'm gonna say Casemiro. Like, I didn't think I'd be saying this before the game, but honestly, I think Casemiro was the best player on that pitch today, or at least for our team. I think he was pretty dominant performance overall. Maybe should have got a couple shots on target as well. A few headers that could have gone on target. They probably could have done better. But I think surprisingly, a very good performance from Casemiro. A lot of energy, looked sharp, made the right decisions most of the time, had decent passing most of the time, had a bit of creativity about him as well. And maybe just needs to relax a bit more when he's passing, and then he could be even better. But who am I to tell Casemiro how to be better? Well, I guess I am one of the best players in the world as well. But yeah, that's a story for another day. Looking ahead, I think we've got Brighton next Saturday, 12:30 p.m. kickoff, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know what to expect from Brighton. They've got a new manager. I think he's 31 years old. They've signed a lot of good prospective players. We've seen Brighton do well over the last few seasons because of their model, regardless of their managers and the players they buy and sell. So it's going to be a tough game, especially at the Amex Stadium. I think we haven't had the best record there in recent years, but still excited. Overall, a good 1-0 win against Fulham, a very respectable Fulham side. Make sure you watch out for the match Man United season predictions, my Premier League season predictions as well, more Legends League content as well, more Manchester United vlogs to come from all the stadiums that I'm going up and down the country, all the times I'm driving up from London to Manny and back on the same day just to make work the next day. Make sure you like the video, make sure you get in the comments, let me know what you thought about the game. Impressed, not impressed, expecting to see more, or are we going to win the league? I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it in this video. I might say it in the Man United prediction video. So watch out for that one. See you in the next one. Peace out. Between the lines.